snicker, but real ones no. Real ones no. Oh wow.
And you're trying to get that money for the upgrades.
I mean, the the grind. The grind is love. The grind is life. I wonder if my tweet button works. Does my tweet button work?
Hey, by
What
the
up,
way,
What up, homie?
I'm gonna start calling you Missy.
You're gonna start calling me what?
Yeah, your nickname is Missy.
Why?
Well, it appears that a person by the name of Expert Penguin has blocked me on Twitter.
That's not true. That's a lie.
I have the receipt.
And why would you call me Missy? Oh, so then you know then, if you were Missy, then you would know why you were blocked. And it's not a complete mystery to you.
Oh no. Well, you're.
Well, no, I'm not, because you know why you were blocked. I don't know why Missy blocked me. So you trying to put this thing down and flip it and reverse it on me. But I'm about to Harlem Shake all over you right now. But I'm about to just... Do you see it? Do you see my shoulders moving?
I see your shoulders moving somehow.
But no, you're not blocked. That must have been a clerical error. Of sorts. Yeah, it must have been a
really?
clerical error.
A
My
clerical
assistant
error.
was, using Microsoft Edge, and he just... I tried to tell, I said, friends don't let friends use... all right, you just gonna use it okay. Just gonna use Microsoft Edge in my presence. He was like, yeah, it's like my favorite program. And I was like... Who's hiring these interns?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if I want you to unblock me. I feel like I'm gonna milk this for like another month or two.
Well, too bad. It's already done. And the offending parties have been let go.
Oh, you let go.
You know how it is with these interns. You know.
Who made the clerical
They'd be making
error.
clerical errors, you know. Oh shoot, am I a warlock right now? Oops. Did I mean to be a warlock? Yeah, I think I did. Did you invite me?
No, I thought you said you. I did. I thought you said you were gonna be a Titan.
Yeah, that's right, I did. Well, did say that, you know. What do you have to do for your means to an end, boo-boo-boo?
Let me see. Collect simple traces of items fitting an escalation protocol, Gambit Prime, or the record.
Lord Jesus. Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna stay my warlock for now then. If we show up around doing 0 hour, I'll switch back to my Titan. I was asking because for some reason, I guess because of the way I've been playing this, for like occasionally on one of my characters, I'll still have last week's requirement to fulfill for means to an end. Like there's some weird overlap going on because as you can probably imagine, dear, I don't do interference with all 3 characters every week, and sometimes it's just not possible for my brain.
Right.
Or time-wise, it's not possible. So, yeah. Alright, so yeah. Because for my Titan right now, I have to do either Nightfall the Ordeal or Crucible Control to get Umbral Traces. Yeah. Yeah, so right now, my Warlock is actually on the same page as you. So, we'll line it up like that. That'll work. Yeah, because otherwise it's like, wait, what? What do you mean you don't have to do? What do you mean you have to? So, Paul Tassi, speaking of, Paul Tassi said he went in with a Tether and a Titan and managed to clean it up quickly in 2 runs.
Of the reckoning?
Yeah, maybe we can follow his illustrious example. Joining
Okay,
you
that works for
now.
me.
I'm down on this planet, which they wildin' down here. The shore is all tangled up.
They wildin'
They
out.
is actually. I really want to use that pyramid emblem. I don't know who to use it on though. I feel like I should just use it on this character. TBH.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
I think I was carrying too many emblems and it went into collections. But all of that crab aside, listen. It is expert playlist. It is expert playlist time.
It is the expert.
We find ourselves on the Ascendant plane once again, having the last of our IRL tinctures. So, second dose of tincture.
Oh.
Is it still as magical as the first one?
It's quite magical.
It's quite magical. I enjoy it a great deal. It's very sweet,
But I
but
like that about it.
I like that about it.
I
You know,
usually don't have
I usually don't have anything that sweet. But hey, what the heck not?
Honestly, I think you've got the right idea,
That's
Boo. I think you've got the right idea.
Yeah.
Also, R.I.P. Mixer. R.I.P.
RIP Mixer.
R.I.P. Mixer. I think its last day was June 30th? No.
Yeah, June 30th.
Yeah, June 30th.
July 22nd.
Oof,
Oof, I wasn't even.
Yeah.
But okay.
This was last week. Last week, Mixer's API finally stopped returning my calls.
Oh man.
What new activity are you starting there?
Hurricane.
It's working.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go to Mayhem. And I had my Mayhem helmet on. Can you hit me? Can you hit me with an inspect and just marvel over the greatness that is my character? Can you just do that? Can you just for the kids at home? Can you
Okay.
just marvel over me? Can I just get some marveling? Just want to be. I just want to be
Ooh,
special.
I like this.
Yeah, yeah.
I like this kind of a Russian, like dragon dude.
You're digging the Russian Ahamkara look.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Russian
Russian Nahamkar.
dragon energy.
Some dragon energy in him.
I'm so glad I got this thing. I think the thing that pushed it over was like I think I did like 2 Gambit bounties, and I was like, yes, I have the dust. Okay, do you not like the way we are coordinated? Okay, because we're coordinated right now. Okay.
I like it a lot. Wait, cool.
Thank you. This might be the best helmet I've ever worn, and I don't know why it goes with this outfit so well, but I'm very happy. That's actually the ornament, the robes. It's the 7th Seraph robes. Like the ornament you get to upgrade them.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
Did you get
I
this?
like it.
Like the military garb?
Yeah, I got that.
I am surprised you never wear it. I mean, look at these medals. I feel like Michael Jackson right now.
I wore it.
I I wore it towards the end of the last season.
Oh, I see. So were you able to get a giant Ahamkara skull on your face?
No.
You didn't
No.
get it?
I do not have a giant.
I'm
Ahamkara.
surprised you wouldn't get that. It was only 1,500. You left an Ahamkara skull on the table? Oh.
I guess so.
I guess so.
Oh. I love that thing. I mean, I still like my Explorer hat.
That's a cool.
You know, don't get me wrong. My Explorer hat is still, you know, the bee's knees. But, you know,
Mm-hmm.
always time to be an
Yeah.
Ahamkara dragon. Like when I turn back to Ark, you know,
This
I'll
is
put my
true.
hat back on. But for now, I think I like this because I've got it set up with the attunement of hunger. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'll be gaining super energy, gaining energy from kills. Oh, and I decided, actually, I'm going to be as a warlock, I have decided that I'm going to be a sentry.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow, they're
cool.
doing the bridge. Let's head in there.
Oh, they're doing this. Yeah.
Oh, they're doing this. Yeah, let's try to help out.
But yeah, I think I'm going to be a sentry. I think I'm going to try and run Well of Radiance and max out the sentry tree
Mm-hmm.
because, oh
Mhm.
man, our damage phases will be legendary. Between the perks you get at full sentry and just being a Radiance Warlock in general, I think we would definitely dominate were I a Warlock. And oh, clutch! I think we would dominate if I were
Yeah.
a Warlock in that capacity. I think it would go really well, actually. Okay, not good.
Oof!
I just got pushed off.
I just got pushed off.
No dying. Man, it's a good thing I have Devour. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Because I would have died from that. Like when I hit that first, thrall and got healed from it, that literally saved my life.
Nice.
Nice.
It kept me alive, so that you could be fly.
I really
I really appreciate that.
I'm trying to take out these vandals on the side so we don't get sniped out of existence, but for some reason, the range on my bow seems to have gone through the poop. Alright. Oh no. No.
Jeez. Done.
I tried. Why are all you dying? You had one job. We have lost the bridge.
Oh, someone's coming over. Yeah, we may.
Nah, we're not gonna make it.
Not
Nah.
gonna make it.
That was a bit too close.
That was a bit too clutch. I'm surprised we made it this far. Actually.
I mean, it would have been good had we not all died. But you know,
Yeah.
you win some, you
Yeah.
lose some, you crab some. Let's just get our moats back, and
Indeed.
I'll switch to the Sanguine Alchemy.
Try again another day.
Yeah, you know, as far as a defensive measure, I think having a rift that will not only continue to keep me alive, but will be extended by kills and whatnot, I think that'll be the better rift to throw down.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that'll
Nice.
help
Okay.
us. Just gonna sit here, looking at the floor. So there we go.
What?
Bam.
What?
Oh no, I was just putting down a rally. I was just putting down a rally banner.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the circle to appear so I could put it in. Boom. All right, let's do this. So. Crabs.
Oh.
Stop that. What's happening today?
I don't know.
Well, all right. According to the rundown, what's happening today is Joe Rogan had some choice comments
That's,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
about video games,
apparently,
the hobby of gaming.
He said that video games are a waste of time because you know they they generally make you feel
Mm-hmm.
good, but if you play a video game for three
Mm-hmm.
years, you basically get no return on that
Wow.
activity versus something like martial arts, which I think is a poor example. Just FYI.
That's funny. It sounds like he's described watching the Joe Rogan Experience. Because if I watch the Joe Rogan Experience for 3 years straight, what have I gotten out of it?
Except
except
Yeah,
entertainment.
except having watched the Joe Rogan Experience for 3 years, will I be any closer to becoming a successful podcaster?
no, he actually
No,
said
he
something
actually
along the
said
lines
something
of,
along the lines
hey,
of, hey, and I'm glad he
he
recognized
said
this.
it's
He
not
said it's
different from
not
being a
different from
comedian,
being a comedian.
actually.
Actually, you
He's,
know,
the rare
he's, the
exception
rare
of
exception
what can
of
happen.
what can
Yes.
happen.
But
But even that, I would say, is a poor example because if you dedicate yourself to becoming a comedian for 3 years, you may not become, a mega celebrity, which is not guaranteed for anyone, but you'll probably be funnier and have a rich number of experiences to draw from, I would say. So it's not wasted, which I think is the same for any video game. No?
I mean, last time I checked, games had skill gaps, games had learning curves, games had robust communities, especially competitive games. Robust communities built around them
Yeah.
with, really, if you really wanted to brass tack it, it's more equal opportunity and easier to carve out your own niche for success should you consider a career in professional gaming if you wanted to do that. I don't think Joe Rogan acknowledged the existence of esports or professional gaming. Because while he's sitting there,
No, he doesn't seem to think about it
no,
very
like while
much.
he's sitting there going on and on about jujitsu tournaments, I'm like, has this man never heard of Evo or League of Legends or Dota or Call of Duty or Counter Strike? Or has he never heard of competitive games where people go to tournaments and improve in skill and start their own teams? You can start a jujitsu school, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, you really think that's feasible, Joe?
That's
Where's your
pretty I
jujitsu
mean, that's
school?
a really poor example.
Like,
That's a
it's
really
so
poor
hard to
example,
open a
to
martial
be
arts
honest.
school. Like, what?
Because
You're really just painting that as like a foregone conclusion of randomly wandering into a dojo with a light interest in martial arts, and that you will someday own a
yeah,
dojo.
I mean it takes yeah, I mean come on. Like after in the time frame that he provided, if you play a video game for 3 years versus if you get really good at
Mm-hmm.
jujitsu for 3 years, it you may not even be all that good after 3 years
Yeah,
at jujitsu. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like anything, yeah,
It's
like anything.
like anything.
like such a narrow time frame.
So it's
Yeah, it's like nothing.
yeah, it's like nothing's guaranteed. I think maybe that's the lesson here. Maybe that's the lesson that we should all learn, Joe. Nothing's guaranteed. You just have to hedge your bets and be smart about the choices
Help,
you
help.
make in life. Oh, we can really do. I'm down by the way. Ah, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened there.
How did you die?
I fell off the.
I fell off I got pushed off the platform.
Can you just put concussive dampener on one of your pieces of armor, please?
Concussive dampener?
Yeah, it's a mod that. Stop shooting at me, you fucking troglodyte! Get away from me, dickface! Get out. Leave the game. Leave. Bye. Depart. Leave. You're garbage. Leave. Leave. Leave, asshat.
If he seriously like
Are you seriously
Are Are you seriously standing there firing?
Eat my asshole. That's why you got a bunch of arrows sticking out of your head. Yeah, look at you now. If you was as good at killing Thrall as you were at meleeing me, maybe we would have finished that last Bridge of Folly. Enjoy your new life as a porcupine. Buttheads. Salty asses.
I can't.
I'm so mad. Like, the guy ran after me shooting me like it was my fault. Oh, whatever. Nah, those are what we call... Those people are what we call Trizash. Yeah, like when they die, they genuinely expected you to be alive to overcompensate for their lack of skill. And when they find out, oh, wait, doing the Bridge of Folly doesn't work that way. It's like a stack of dominoes. If you don't keep each other alive, it usually just falls apart. Like, doing it with 3 people ain't the most feasible thing. Doing it with, like, it just isn't. It's just, it's weird how... It's just weird how its loop is designed around pretty much no margin for error. Yeah.
Yeah.
With like very little margin for error. Like, you think at some point they would have like patched it and gave you more time for each segment of the freaking bridge, but I think Reckoning has pretty much been the same since it has been since it launched.
Yeah.
So they're gonna sit here and
yeah, that's what they're gonna do. I was worried about
and
that.
gum up the extra slots that we could have.
That's what I was worried about. TBH. Worried they were just gonna sit there instead of leaving and, you know, going to do something a little easier. Like, I don't know, patrol.
Yeah, like why limit the potential of our fire team because you guys expect it to be carried? Don't work like that. Like, you a Titan, man. Pull out some bubbles. You got Void Rifts with Sanguine Alchemy, and you've got Arc Soul Rifts that we don't really see that often. But y'all are some noobs. Noobs! Well, since we're here for ulterior motives anyhow, I mean, I would love a new Sentry piece, but defeating bosses, orange and yellow bars, will get us the most Umbral Traces, so...
Okay.
You know, we could still capitalize on that.
Okay. Can we like...
What? What's up?
I wish I could like kick them out.
No, they already booted themselves.
How left? Oh, okay.
Yeah, either they left on their own, or I don't know. He realized I reported him for griefing, and and he got cold feet and dipped. So that's what that's called, dude. That's called griefing. It's called sabotage.
Indeed.
Without all the good music added as well. Yes. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that there, Joe. I think you're being a little bit reductive, a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah.
Not to say that everybody who starts playing games will be a ninja or a shroud, but to say that it's completely worthless as a hobby, or that even given the very low criteria you mentioned, I mean, again, he inadvertently could classify his show as the same exact thing. So what's the real message here? That video games are a waste of time, or having hobbies is a waste of time? Because everything you do, especially for enjoyment, shouldn't have to lead into some kind of career. That's insanity. Joe, every time you watch a movie, do you admonish yourself for not being a director? You know, when you read a good book, do you get mad because you can't parlay it into being a novelist? Like, what a weird and reductive and bad argument to use against something that people enjoy.
Yeah, and you know what? I think part of it has to do with the fact that previously he had a gaming addiction.
Oh, okay, so, I mean,
So I guess he's looking at it from that lens, right? Like, it's
not the
something
game's
that,
fault.
if you're good at it, releases some dopamine. And I guess he managed to pull himself away from that, and that's good for him.
I'd ask what he was running from.
Yeah.
I'd ask what he was running from that he decided to turn to games to fill whatever void existed in him, because that, to me, is the more interesting question. Like, what got your goose, sir?
I mean, who knows? Yeah.
Wait a darn cotton pick a minute. No, I'm just looking through my inventory. Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess. I thought I had a weapon, I didn't. Alright, never mind.
Oh.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, wow, I just saw you fall into the portal.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, sir. It was very weird coming from him, who, yeah, I kind of thought that he had more of a, I thought he had more of a balanced perspective when it came to that sort of thing, because, like, when Doom came out, like Doom Eternal, he had one of the designers of Doom on his podcast. Had one of the designers from Doom Eternal.
Oh,
And he was talked about games in the past, games like Red Dead Redemption and The Last of Us, and just, you know, how graphically stunning they were and how far games have come. And it's weird, you know. I guess that's all he sees it as. It's unfortunate that he decided to use it in that way, but I mean, you can use any hobby in that way, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
And if
you're
Mhm.
if you're talking about what a video game can do to a kid in particular, like, I don't know if he's looking at it from the lens of an adult who really should have realistic expectations as to what a video game can do for
Yeah.
him or her. You know, but in terms of what it can do for a kid, you know, it definitely teaches you the value of practice and sticking with something.
Detail orienting you,
know,
making
maybe
you more
even-
perceptive, hand-eye coordination,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the game, right?
I mean, I think it's my personality. Yeah, like, I know I can be very thorough. I know that definitely is something that kind of crosses over into the way I play games. Like looking under the rocks and the moss and the... My natural inclination to do that, you know, lends itself well to video games. I can't say that I've become more perceptive as a result, but I'm definitely, you know... I can definitely be very perceptive. And I wouldn't go so far to say that, you know, playing games didn't have any positive effect on that in particular.
Okay. So that, you know, did that.
Yeah,
for
you know, you have to find the good
Um,
in whatever it is you do, because if it's not benefiting you in some way, it's like, why do it? I worry more about people who do things for no particular reason, or because they can't think of something else to do. Like, to me, that's the more dangerous, you know, side of any kind of hobby or thing that you do. If you don't know the reason why you're doing it, or you, like, he obviously couldn't see the positive benefit. Like, to him, it just didn't look that way, you know? Because I never look at the substance, you know, when, especially if there's an addiction involved. I never look at the substance. It's not the substance. It's usually the person and what they are using it for, or why do they feel they need this. You know, even like a...
I mean, addiction is not logical.
Well, no. But the reasons the entryway or the entry point is generally pretty consistent with feelings. Like people that get addicted to WoW, their reward systems get attuned to that. It could be the reward systems involved in long form gaming and the way you get immersed in a world. It could also be the social interaction that you know, you can socially interact in that game in a way that you don't or can't in real life. Like there's always a root point. Not to say that it's logical for it to have started, but there's usually a root point, something that you are, something that the addiction is feeding, that you feel that you don't have within yourself.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, you know, that's why I say, like, for him to look at it that way, I wonder what void, you know, he seems like a very productive person. You know, he seems like a very busy, very structured, very regimented person. I could see why for Joe Rogan it would feel like a waste of time, because he generally does a lot of things. You know, comments on, he has his podcast that he practically does every day, because we don't get the episodes as soon as they're done. He does these things like every day. You know, he also commentates on UFC fights and has an MMA show in addition to his regular podcast. So it's like, I can see why for somebody who finds the value in, you know, just constantly keeping busy, how he could view games in that way. As I've spent a ton of time doing this and nothing came out. I can see where that perspective would come from. You know, but that's just the way he's wired, you know? Some people find that same fulfillment from playing fighting games. Ask anybody in the FGC. I remember watching KI for Life stream for hours, like almost 5-6 days a week when Killer Instinct was hot. And you could not tell anyone on the planet that man was not building a skill set, okay, was not reaching an upper echelon of something that, you know, not many people could attain. I mean, he used to be infamous for his 100+ hit ultras. Like the muscle memory and skill and intuition that you'd have to, you know, wow. You actually managed to die from... I saw it happen! I saw it happen! We all flew across the gap! And then I looked back and I just saw your body going straight down! Oh no!
I don't know.
Dear, the curse of Gabriel is real.
I don't know how that happened.
Dear, it's your curse. It's too strong. There's no hot fix. There is no hot fix available that can fix the curse of Gabriel, dear. I'm gonna show you the clip of that. It's literally, I just turned around and I just saw your body just go straight down. And I'm like, what? How did you do this? It's like programmed to float you across the gap, not straight down. You're not supposed to float straight down. You have transcended destiny. I don't know what else to say. You're too strong. Your power level is too high, dear. What's going on in that artifact? The user will fall unimaginable distances with this perk active. There's a lot of ads. I put a rift under the thingy.
Oh, me too.
Oh, okay, that's why I have an Arc Soul. I was like, wait, did I just get an Arc Soul for my own rift? Oh, I broke the game.
DPS.
So much DPS. Man, don't you try and come back to life over my damn head with your... Alright, we got a minute and a half left. Falling guillotines! Ahoy, dear! Tell me you brought your falling guillotine. Oh, it's about to go down. Nice. That was my last sword slash. Yes! That Nova Bomb was for you, Oryx. Oh lord, that's an ogre? That thing
Yeah, it's
appeared
an ogre.
directly in front of me. Sorry, I was just kind of flabbergasted because it appeared directly in front of. Wait. All right, we got a minute left for this likeness. Who's dead? Who's dead next? Somebody died.
Me. And one more person.
I need this rift. Sorry, I was about to die. All right. Oh, it's heavy ammo. I'm about to. Man, get over here with that crap.
Ah, orc! Ah, orc!
Y'all gonna have me be the only one flying after him with a sword? Thank you. Like, what's going on here? It's got me floating after the guy, like.
Foreign rulers begrudge you. You will do anything they ask in order to gain power.
Yay!
Fascinating.
Okay, how long did I make it?
Okay, not bad.
Okay, not bad. 71%.
71. I've got 72. So we're on track.
Ooh. Aw.
Yo, where's my gear, though? Yo, can I get my stuff? Yo, let me... Ha! You... Dear, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you. I told you it was all connected. I told you.
Absurd.
Absurd.
You turned it against me!
Don't underestimate my power. What do you mean? Oh,
Realm
okay.
remembers the king and his son.
Wait a minute.
Kill them again.
Did you not offer your moat last time?
I did.
I did. I got a reward, so I guess that's why now I need a new one. But I think I have one sitting in the postmaster.
Free.
Which I will retrieve now. Retrieve. Okay. So,
Yes, Rhubarb?
did you hear about the guy that used to glitch his? Well, there's not only one person, but apparently this dude, JB3, apparently got banned
Okay. For what?
from Destiny because he pretty much admitted he was using third-party software to glitch his way into parts of the game that we weren't supposed to see.
Okay.
So, is this a sign of things to come? Are they going to start banning people? Given the great. Well, what I mean by that is there have been a number of complaints over the last couple of months from people who feel like Trials, for example, is pretty much unplayable, right? There's so much cheating, people with, wall hacks and such. Does this, do you think, signify
Alright.
a more, I guess, aggressive stance on that kind of
No.
thing? you
No,
don't
I
think
feel
so?
like the way you... I feel like the way you deployed this information at me was very fragmented. I mean, you kind of started with the end, and then you went to the middle, and then
okay.
you went to the beginning, and then you went to the middle. Realistically,
Okay,
no, I mean,
sorry.
no, I just to give it some context. Okay, so there have always been areas, I mean, given the way Destiny is built, there's, they have these whole worlds, and then they're made up of all these segmented sections, and, we don't know, but at any given time, there's a mixture of playable and unplayable game spaces in the game that Bungie just has kind of built in there and just set for like a rainy day. Like, you know, this is like back in the day, like in Destiny 1. I remember when I showed you, I think it was on Venus, how there was a glitch, even in the Xbox version, for you to glitch your way into the strike space from the exclusive mission. Why? Well, because even though they're different versions of the game, that physical area was still in the Xbox version of the game. You just couldn't get to it because the strike wasn't in the game. So, yeah, so there's been, as long as Destiny's been around, I think just a dedicated community of people who always try to break the game and glitch it out and get into the unforeseen areas or any of the weird spots that, you know, even if they're not in use now, maybe they'll be in use an expansion from now. You know, like I got into... People got into, like, even recently, people managed to get into the Fellwinter bunker before anybody knew about the Fellwinter's Lie quest. You know, people got in there and were like, what the hell is going on down here? Holy shit. So that kind of behavior is nothing new to Destiny. And, you know, I guess the big difference is that previously these areas and these places, people managed to get into them without glitches or exploits, which is something that Bungie can't really penalize you for because it's the in-game code, it's something that anybody can do, and it doesn't require anything aside from the game for you to do it. So Bungie can't really do anything about that. It's not breaking TOS. However, I guess this guy who basically called himself like the boundary break of the Destiny 2 community, which is actually a description that's not too far off.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how we lost that.
Really?
But yeah, he called himself the boundary break of the community, where, I don't know if you know, Boundary Break is a show. It's a show by She Says on YouTube, where using third-party software and really cool, like, often custom cameras, he shows, like, the environments of a game or goes beyond the quote-unquote boundaries to show you, like, you know, what's going on behind the scenes to make the games look the way they do. Which is cool, but this is what this JB3 guy was doing.
Cool.
But unfortunately for him, unlike the glitchers who do what they do without third-party software, he was using third-party software, so that put him in the same lane as, unfortunately, hackers and cheaters. And even though he wasn't doing it to anyone in Crucible, or doing it to anyone, you know, in PvP, or ruining anyone else's game experience, he was still kind of hacking, and to an extent, potentially ruining surprises and secrets that Bungie had planned. So, I mean, even he said that he knew with what he was doing, his days were numbered. So, I mean, even he knew that he was breaking the TOS. I think he said that he was even surprised that it took them as long as they did to ban him. But, you know, I don't feel like that would be indicative of a harsher ban hammer moving forward. I mean, if anything, if I was a Zeta Cross, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, so y'all took time out of your day to ban this one YouTuber who was just doing everything he was doing in PvE, but we still don't got anti-cheating trials. Okay, Bungie. Like,
that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking, you know, some other people who've had, you know, who've been very vocal about the cheating problem that's in trials, that's ongoing.
yes, like to the minute.
Would be like,
So y'all,
you guys decided to ban this one person.
put all your resources into banning a PvE hacker who wasn't doing nothing to nobody. Yet I'm still getting shot through the wall in trials. I mean, if anything, this news is definitely sad for the you know, for the greater lore and, you know, environment breaking and glitching community. We have lost one, yeah, sure, but yeah, at the same time, what the heck? So, how's that trials situation going, Bungie?
Patch coming along. Bungie, that one's coming next week.
Right, like oh, but oh no, let's not let somebody glitch into a piece of the Cosmodrome that was just left over in the EDZ files. No. This guy is a true menace. He threatens the very foundations that Destiny was built on. Like, okay, all right, okay. So, loving that Azita Cross impression. I know.
He's probably like the most wholesome YouTuber.
He truly is. Yeah. Every time I hear him say "all right, fellas" at the beginning of a video, just warms my heart. It does. Yep.
All right, fellas.
You know you're in for some good content as soon as you hear the "all right, fellas." Hey, I'm just saying, he's the reason I have the Ikelos SMG, equipped on my Titan now, because I just thought they oh no. Oh yeah, by the by, I don't know if you knew this, but if an enemy does a slam, like when you're on the bridge, you get knocked off a lot. When you're on the freaking bridge and you know something is afoot, prioritize the boss enemies, like as far as looking at them is concerned, because you can use this block, these big blocks in the middle of every circle here. You can use that to avoid the slam attack. You can, like, if an enemy slams and you're on the opposite side of the block, you won't get hit by the shockwave.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah, so just FYI, if you ever find yourself too close to a boss, you can definitely use this block here to block the slam. Or and don't forget this is actually a reflex that I'm still working on. If you find yourself getting knocked off and you remember you have a sword in your inventory, whip that beast out and sword swipe. It'll kill the momentum of you flying backwards. See? You just saw me do it!
Wow.
You just saw me do it twice! Oh my gosh! No!
Why?
We tried. But yeah, like I said, that's a reflex I'm actually still kind of working on. But yeah, like if you find yourself flying off, switch to your sword immediately and go. You'll usually make it. The RB attack, not the right trigger, because the right trigger will just make you do this. And you're trying to get this. So don't hit the right trigger. Hit the right bumper. Just fly. Yeah, because you'll be flying backwards like this. Look, you'll be flying backwards and then watch me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you'll be flying backwards like a beast, and then you go, woo! I'm coming back. Woohoo! I'm coming back. You see that? You get two of them. You get two of those forward flying slashes in a single jump. I think after the second one, you just start falling. But you can like glide, swipe. Anyway, yeah, he's the reason I use the Ikelos SMG, because when they unsunset that weapon, I was like, whatever. I got it already, but like, and then he was going over this crazy comprehensive breakdown of the weapon, and like he goes deep, dear. He goes through all the potential perks, all the perks it does have, what perk combinations he found worked best in PvP. And it was because of him that I found out the Ikelos SMG has this perk called Seraph Rounds, where basically all the bullets from that SMG ricochet off of walls and surfaces and overpenetrate. From an SMG. That's not on
Nice.
every roll of that weapon. That's actually on certain rolls of the Ikelos SMG. I'm like, Seraph rounds. Wait, it's a machine gun that I could bounce bullets off the walls and the floors and the... What? Well, I guess I'm
Yeah.
keeping that. Yeah, you know, I always know, always know it's gonna be good content. Cause he's funny, he's approachable, and he makes Destiny sound like a lot of fun. Like he makes that extra layer of Destiny when you start getting all technical. He makes it feel very approachable and
Yeah.
fun. He doesn't make it seem really complicated or unattainable. Cool dude.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. Still one of my favorite communities. It's all good though, but
Oh yeah.
unfortunately
Oh,
now I have gained. I might have potentially gained a new, community member because, unlike Bungie, okay, I love boundary breaking shit. I'm a huge fan of that show. You know me. I love seeing the strings. And I'm almost curious to see what places he managed to get himself into in Destiny. Remember that video of the guy like going into the Traveler? Remember he went into the dark the shard.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Guy flew over he flew into the shard, and it had like the corridors of time stuff in it. Little hexagonal little hex patterns.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Mhm.
What is this madness?
Yeah, that was great.
I want answers. Because
You want answers?
I really do, and I honestly feel like this should be a thing that happens. I feel like prior to Lightfall, whenever that occurs, if we do not get a chance, I mean this, if we don't get a chance to go inside that thing, I feel like we have just completely squandered what will be, I think by that point, 8 years of mystery. I mean that.
Okay.
I'm serious. What? Okay.
Well, Lightfall is 3 years from now.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, we will have squandered a lot of years of mystery, because as far as I know,
Yeah.
we're like, we're on year 6 of Destiny as a franchise,
Mhm.
Right.
and we
Right.
still don't know dick about the Traveler.
To truly understand or empathize with the life of an
I feel,
That's true. We know very
yeah,
little.
but we've been inside a pyramid. So I feel like in the interest of consistency and of the crazy lore this game has, it'd be crazy if we never got to go inside the Traveler. I mean, the thing is practically bursting at the seams, asking a Guardian to just fly their ship into it. No, we haven't yet.
Yeah.
Like, I totally would. It's got holes all over the place in it now. You just fly inside it. I want to see what's in there. I can't believe I've been inside of a pyramid ship, but still don't know anything about the Traveler. So we better be able to go inside that thing. I want to see what's in there. I'm just saying. Just want to.
Yeah.
They keep calling it an
Yeah.
egg. What's inside that egg? what's in there? You want to find out too.
I do.
I do.
Oh, I got sniped. Help. Thank you. Thank you. Cut that out. Both of y'all. Stop it. No, not you.
Okay.
These tookens that keep following us and trying to snipe us.
Mhm.
Takenses. Takenses, yeah. Tookens. Neesons. Whoa! I did not see him.
So he's invisible. Jerk.
Well, anyway, I got
the fuck.
If you did and we were about the same, hopefully that means me too. Yep. All right.
Okay, so let's
Yep.
get out of here. You wanna go do
Of
interference?
course. Reset is fresh. The interference is interfering. You know, we got some fresh, some deep Eris lore.
Deep Eris
Got some
lore.
Eris lore to get down on. I can't think of a reason to not do reckoning.
Okay.
I mean, to not do interference. I mean, that is why we put our audience through all that reckoning, right?
It is. It is. It is. It is.
You know, riveting personalities can only take you so far in the midst of all that reckoning fail.
This is true.
But
Well, all right.
I'm listening.
So apparently, there's something that I did not realize, which is the fact that apparently Halo Infinite is kind of following the Destiny formula, and that their intention is to just, continue to expand the game and add events to the game rather than putting out a new installment every, 3 or 4 years or whatever.
Wow. Now
Um,
that kind of
yeah,
structure for a
which
single player game.
should have, yeah, which should have been. I mean, it is called Halo Infinite, right? Like that should have been a hint.
And the return to like the open world sand and the emphasis on the open world sandbox, like the first Halo.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think of that as the new model for Halo? Do you think it'll revitalize the franchise? Do you think it's like a little Johnny come lately? What do you think about that?
Well, well, to be honest, I'm
You
just
okay?
think. Am I?
Oh, okay.
Am I
Okay.
allowed to? I was just trying to think.
Of course. Sorry. Sorry. My bad.
Okay. I feel like that approach is I don't know. For me, I think that approach is equal parts worrisome and exciting. Okay, so you just used up your one fall. You can't fall for the rest of the mission now.
Okay. I'll try not to fall. Fingertips in the surface of my snow.
So you just gonna leave me standing here with my arm out like this don't hurt? Like you just gonna?
Were you challenging me to a duel or something?
Not anymore. I'm not.
No.
So yeah, I think it's equal parts exciting and terrifying, only because, okay, I've been a fan of Halo since 2001, to be honest. And Halo's open world sandbox, while certainly not a new concept. We actually have the original Unreal to thank for that expansive open environment style gameplay that Halo definitely popularized. Because Unreal, for some reason, became more famous for its multiplayer iteration, Unreal Tournament, than it did for the story-based single-player shooter that actually, started the franchise. That having been said, open world has always been a large part of Halo's DNA. The open world sandbox, that Bungie sandbox. You know, because that's why Halo starts out the way it does. It starts at you out on a ship. You're going down corridors and hallways. It's almost like Bungie is tricking you into thinking that you're just playing another sci-fi shooter, you know, that's going to be set in a number of sterile gray environments or corridors, and because a lot of console FPSs and FPSs at that point were on that wave. And then in the second mission, you land on Halo. And everybody has that moment because the escape pod is essentially the same color and shape and make as the hallways in the Pillar of Autumn. So you're still in that sterile, cold environment when you start the second stage. And then you step out of the back of that ship, and you're like, whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
All of this space. I'm on Halo. Look at all this space. Holy shit. Is that a dropship? Like, so the open world, expansive environment thing is always something that's been endemic to Halo. It's not something new to the franchise. It's what the franchise was practically built on. Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, all have like taken and evolved that concept in different ways. So to hear Halo Infinite is doing the same thing, like that to me, that's great news. You know? But at the same time, the way the game director, the studio head, 343 studio head, Chris Lee, I think, the way he's talking about it is like it's something that's never been in a Halo game before. It's like he's talking about it like it's not so much a return to form as some brand new innovation that they're bringing to the franchise. And you know, he does say we're taking Halo's take on open gameplay, and then providing the player with and then showing the player what like unprecedented levels of freedom can feel like. And I'm like, I see what you mean in a technical sense, like from a purely technological sense. But I feel like Halo already provided that experience for players. That's what made it what it was, and it's what made Guardians feel so ass. Because people that played Halo had unprecedented levels of freedom when that came out. So what exactly does that mean? Like, you know, you remember, we have that infamous clip of you learning how to drive the Warthog while we're doing the Silent Cartographer. You know? You're driving around in the ocean and doing all sorts of... Like, we had unprecedented amounts of freedom. We were supposed to be looking for the cartographer or whatever, but here we were just having a casual detour by driving into the ocean and just goofing off. So, again, I like to look at it... I would love it if they approached it more as a return to form and giving people that same freedom than thinking like, oh, we're doing something cool and new and innovative. And because I'd hate for them to hamstring their ambition by thinking that giving us the experience of level 2 of Halo 1 is somehow going to be the main innovation that this thing sits on. Because I could tell you, unless that sandbox is made well, the novelty of that's going to wear off quick. Unless their sandbox is actually fun to fiddle around in and mess with. You know, we'll be hard pressed.
You are abandoned.
Yo, what, Nokris? So Nokris just said, you are abandoned.
Actually, I think I need to clip that because he said something different
Nice.
just now.
Clip it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He said something like, and I'm paraphrasing here, you know, the sky is boundless, the deep is deep, or something.
He said the sky is boundless
There
and the
is
deep is
another
deep.
way. The deep is, you know, grand but shallow. I don't know. some
Okay,
shit
that's
like
cool. I'm down. I want to hear.
that. And then he said, "There's another way."
Which tracks
which tracks with his newfound allegiance to
Mm-hmm.
Savathun.
I don't know if I want the Savathun way, Nocris. Do you even like? How do you know she's not fooling you? I mean, she even
She
she
definitely
even
is
pulled
fooling
one over on Riven, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you need to check yourself, spawn of Oryx.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, getting back to the crab.
Mhm.
You know, I kind of got the visual language. I kind of got the visual language of what they were trying to convey in the demo. Honestly, I mean, I wasn't even to be frank, I wasn't even like looking at the graphics like that. I didn't think they were underwhelming. Didn't think, wow, that's crazy. All right, sorry, I almost got shot. I just didn't think they were anything to. I guess stay there. I'll save you.
Okay.
I didn't think they were bad. They did not wow me.
Right, yeah, that's kind of hard.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I
that's
wasn't
kinda
wowed by them. I didn't think they were bad, but they didn't make me go, holy shit. You know, like, I remember when Halo 3 was
Yeah.
revealed before the 360 came out. People lost their shit. I lost my shit. I saw the detail on Master Chief's suit, saw him walking towards the horizon, then the giant Forerunner pit. My mind was blown. I was like, oh my god! You know.
I can imagine.
I can imagine.
So I definitely didn't get that feeling from it, but I got very much, you know, what this guy is describing. You know, he's saying it's like we're basically taking. He's like, we're taking Halo CE and we're just blowing all the walls off of it. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. So you're basically making a hybrid, or this is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a hybrid of Halo Combat Evolved, the first one, yes. It sounds like a hybrid of Halo Combat Evolved and Destiny, where basically,
Yeah.
where basically the game is going to be, what if the silent cartographer were a patrol space? You know, like, what if the silent cartographer were a patrol space in Destiny? That's basically what it sounds like. We've got this one environment, we're going to tell all these stories in it. There's going to be new missions and things to find and revelations and world events and things that you can explore. But that's kind of what it sounds like. And then I guess they would have the leeway to, because Halo is a ring with a reasonable amount of terrain built into it, you know, eventually they'd have different segments of the ring, you know, that you can explore, kind of like how level 2 of Halo was the silent cartographer. It was the very large and green and expansive and foresty area. And then during Truth and Reconciliation, you know, or the mission before that, I forget, when you're sniping, you're like in the more desert-like area of Halo. Then, you know, you're on a Covenant ship, and then you're in the Rocky Mountain ranges. Like, I'm pretty sure you could do that to it. Then they would be able to add segments to the Halo over time to represent different environments. And then those environments will be like patrol zones with public events. And really, that's what it sounds like.
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
as long as 343, and it seems like they have, keep their ears to the ground, pay attention, don't pull a BioWare. You know,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you're practically wearing your influences on your sleeve as it is, and it just so happens to be that you're wearing the influences of the original Halo developer on your sleeve. So it's not like you're headed in the wrong direction, but I just, if they're gonna go through with something like this, learn from the pratfalls, and just make sure you don't make any of the mistakes that, you know, that Bungie made over the years, because you're doing a lot, but alright, that was totally my fault.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Because you're kind of doing the most right now, trying to make a game that can be played either as single player or multiplayer with an open platform-like structure. But you still have to do the legwork of making the campaign compelling, making the world interesting and fun to explore. making the game fun, whether you play it by yourself or with others. Like, these are all things that Halo needs to be. It needs to be fun alone, and it needs to be fun with friends. You know, the story has to be compelling and
Yeah.
memorable. And these are things that even Bungie has been kind of struggling with in this kind of structure.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad direction to go. It's a weird direction for Halo. Not a bad direction to go, but I just, games as service is not easy. There's only been like 2 definitive
Yeah.
success stories in this department, and not for lack of talent. It's just not an easy kind of game to make. I think Warframe and Destiny, I
Right.
think Warframe, Destiny, and to a lesser extent The Division are the only ones that really pulled it off.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
And you saw the trials and tribulations that
Right.
all 3 of those games, like all 3 of those games, had some sort of crazy growing pains on their path to,
Yeah.
on their path to building dedicated fan bases. They definitely went through their share of growing pains. All 3 of them. All 3 of them.
Mhm.
So I think it's a good idea, but 343 is gonna have to put their ankles into it. Just like they're convincing everybody that the graphics actually look better than what we saw, because that was an older build. And I believe that. I believe
Okay,
that though.
okay.
I believe that because
I
if
believe that.
like, before you go for a public showing or something like that, or E3 or whatever, those are usually made like months in advance, and by the time the show rolls around, they're already on a newer build, which wouldn't doubt it for a
Right.
second, So yeah, I mean the talent is there. I really like, even though it's not graphically resplendent, but I like the minimalism they reintroduced to the art direction, because I felt like whoever was handling Halo's art direction was just really hyper focused on making everything super crazy detailed. Like the lines had lines had lines had lines. Master Chief's suit was all edges and lines and details had the details. It was just like, Jesus. Look at the original suit. There's big, chunky green plates, helmet, There's a reason his suit is iconic, and it's not because you managed to stick as many blinking lights and jets and vents and levers and...
Made it
Yeah,
super
like,
smooth.
it's just this simple, chunky green armor. Not to say that the armor shouldn't get upgraded, because Bungie did subtly upgrade the look of the suit, but... by like Halo 5, I feel like he looks like more machine than man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're supposed to...
Which you could argue with a design choice.
You could, but the ambiguity in his appearance is
Yeah.
what, is part of what makes the mystique of his character. Like, the way his suit looks, people can't tell whether he is or isn't, because he kind of looks like both. But like by Halo 5, I just felt like I was controlling a Master Chief robot. Like, he just looked like more machine. The delicate balance wasn't there. It didn't look like he was wearing the suit. It looked like the suit's wearing him. Like, the joints are so small.
Which
Which again,
again, I feel like if they had done the storytelling a little bit better, actually a whole lot better, that would have been an interesting dichotomy. Like, because if you remember, at the end of Halo 4, the whole thing is, sometimes I can't tell which one of us is the
Yeah.
machine. And there's this whole exchange. Yeah. So if you had just done, if they had done a better job at telling the story they kind of, sort of attempted, I guess, to tell with Halo 5, it would have been interesting to see how the loss of Cortana had affected him. Like, you could argue that he looks that way by choice, because he has become more machine than man at that point.
Or he doesn't, or he's been with Cortana so long that he doesn't know what side he falls on, really. There's a good deal of emotional attachment and
think that
codependence that went into their relationship that he wasn't aware of until, until he had to think about losing her.
Right.
Right. And I think part of what we are being asked to think
Halo 5.
in Halo 5 is that somehow he's been. Well, okay, so it's not explained how Blue Team is, like, alive.
Yeah, I didn't get into all the pregame
So,
blah,
I
blah,
guess,
so I was definitely lost.
yeah, but I guess, the blah 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 somewhere explains how that happened. But what we're supposed to think is that he's been doing constant mission ever since Halo 4. So he's constantly been on a mission. So he has resolved not to deal with the loss that he
No.
and instead he's just going on mission after mission after mission.
Dear, you're absolutely right. No, it's funny because, like you said, if they had told the story better, that would have been more noticeable. But I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that the first time we played through it, or I didn't know that story detail, that he had just been doing constant missions nonstop. It does a lot to explain his attitude, and also it explains the way he freaked out when the first time he thought he heard Cortana's voice, and he freaked
Yeah.
out. Kind of like a jilted ex. Like on the night of a breakup, and you're sitting by the phone, and then the phone rings, and you're like, hello, 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 hello. Oh, Con Edison.
Oh.
Oh. No, yeah, no. I sent it out this morning. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was just saying I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, so that's actually
what
what happened.
the story
Except the story wasn't told properly, so we didn't absorb that detail. We were just like, okay, well, Blue Team's here, and Master Chief is hallucinating, and,
Yeah.
yeah.
but if you want
But if you wanted to make the argument, I mean, I think this. The reason why I think that may have been a deliberate choice is that specific story detail. The fact that he has not dealt with this loss that he suffered. And so at this point in time, he is more machine than man. He's just going.
Wow.
so yeah.
So, yeah.
I wish they had told us.
I wish they had told that story better. It kind of annoys me that they didn't.
But he actually looked cool.
But he actually looked cool. I'm not saying it looks bad. It's just kind of off because the story was not told the proper way.
True. Yeah, you're right. Wow, yeah. But yeah, so I honestly, they can get the storytelling under control, and like I said, there was always some great choices, some very wise choices. I don't know his name. I forgot his name already, but the human guy, the guy that finds Master Chief, I love everything about the way his story is presented, how he finds the Chief. They show the passage of time that he was on his ship, the way he finds the Chief, and the way that by the time they get to the playable demo, he and Chief have this kind of buddy cop thing going, where this guy is clearly Donald Glover and
Yeah.
Master Chief is clearly Mel Gibson. I love that they very wisely gave Chief someone to play off of, because he needs that. Yeah.
Because he's like a very serious character. Yeah, so he needs someone who
Not even. Yeah, but not even just someone, somebody human, or someone who's not a soldier, who won't be as cold, as calculating, as duty bound, to kind of the straight man, basically. Like Cortana is Chief's straight man. For all of her knowledge and tactical know-how, she's still the one that says, "Hey, keep your head down. There's two of us in here. Remember?" Just little things, that help flesh him out, because of, you could say, how emotionally compromised he is, being the perfect soldier, but maybe not the best socialite. So I have faith. I have faith, and I think they're headed in a great direction. Like I said, the irony of following the blueprint by the creators of Halo notwithstanding, which, hey, sincerest form, flattery, etc., etc. Ready to get down on this week's revelation?
Mhm. Yeah, let us speak to Ares.
Let's do it.
This word is bound to
Unborn.
but presented here as falsehood. Something like unborn. We say guardians are rebirthed by light, but I do sometimes wonder. The choice to live again was not our own.
It was not.
What?
Unborn.
I told you!
This
I told you!
is a linguistic oddity.
We're all pawns in its game!
A vocal nod, a yes. The darkness.
We got nothing but pawns in this big game of life.
Apparently, it believes itself to be quite supportive.
Okay, let's read
It believes
this lore.
itself to be
See what
supportive.
this lore.
Did you hear that? What Eris just said?
Yeah, I think she's just repeating the one from.
Oh,
last
I didn't
week.
know that was the. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the one from last week.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I mean, technically that's
okay.
true, boo. We didn't ask to be breaking
Yeah, we
back.
did not
You know,
choose.
I mean, just like, oh, I'm gonna just bring back these peons. Can y'all not mess this up this time?
Yeah.
My butt cheek is still on your planet. Not trying to leave without it, okay? Can y'all just chill? Did we read last week's book on the strum?
I think so.
Okay, I'm just asking.
So let's do this
Oops.
week. It's called Unborn.
Oh, it's under the light. Oops. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's under the darkness.
It's under the darkness.
It's under the darkness. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
This?
It says.
Inquisition of the Damned? We have got to finish this book. Yeah, it's called Inquisition of the Damned.
Vision of the
And I have most of the
Damned.
pages of this beast. Yeah, apparently you have to find necrotic
yeah, this-
ciphers around the moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we gotta get down on that. All right, so
Okay.
you were saying the eighth book from the singular exegete.
Unborn. Mhm.
It says.
It says.
It
It preaches the philosophy of the books of sorrow, your scriptures, and the unveiled fragments.
Dredgen
The
your
traveler is a false creator.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Man who turned on the lights? With the darkness weapon and the thorn, he got the thorn, the
yes,
darkness and the
and
thorn.
the-
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The traveler is a false creator, guarding its creation with false law. We are dead things made out in the shape of the dead. The only true law is violent winnowing.
Whoa.
Whatever cannot hold on to existence does not deserve existence,
Oh
and
shit.
so forth. At least it's consistent.
Oh.
Scratched and high leather with a flick of
Shots
irony.
fired at the traveler.
The enemy.
Shots fired.
Well, this is shots fired at
No,
the
it's
darkness.
not. Look, she said the traveler is a false creator, guarding its creations with false law. We are dead things, made in the shape of the dead. The only true law is violent winnowing. Whatever cannot hold on to existence does not deserve existence, and so forth. That's the darkness's philosophy. And when she says at least it is consistent,
Yeah,
she's
that-
talking about the darkness, not the traveler.
Yeah,
She's talking about the darkness being
Right.
consistent.
She's
So that's
talking about-
shots fired at the traveler. Because she just called the Traveler a false creator,
Okay.
guarding its creations with false law, and it
Well,
stands to.
she didn't say that. This is what the darkness is saying to her. She's saying, when you say, and so forth, you're kind of just summarizing what someone else said and not repeating it because you kind of already know what it is.
Well, no,
right?
but she's reiterating the point of death, winnowing, and sword logic. Like she's just repeat those three things are darkness philosophies. Like she could keep going on and on about the darkness's philosophies, but those are three things that the darkness preaches.
Okay,
Okay,
You know?
Let's finish.
Like what
the
did we do?
sentence.
We died, we came back to life, and now what do? We spend all of our time killing things to become more powerful. She's saying it's consistent, and if the Traveler's a false creator, guiding its creations with false law, kinda, because all the Traveler does is create, and while creating
But
is.
that's not her
but-
philosophy. That's the darkness.
Are you listening to anything I'm saying? Are you just trying to debunk
Yes,
me?
I'm
Are you listening to anything I'm saying? I never said any of this was her philosophy.
I am.
I didn't say that. So you're trying to debunk
Okay.
me instead of listening to me, because I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that when she says at least it
Okay.
is consistent, she's saying that in favor of the darkness and against the Traveler, because the way she's describing the Traveler here is as inconsistent. She's saying it's guarding its creations with false law. And what does the Traveler believe? That if you create, that if you
don't
give,
know.
that if you imbue, if you bless, then the people that you've blessed or whatever will protect themselves and protect each other and live in harmony. And the darkness is like, nah, son. These things need the power to kill each other, and whoever's left standing are the ones that deserve to exist. So, like, while the Traveler did resurrect us, yeah, right? To give us the ability to proliferate and grow and become great, it's kind of a idealistic stance to take, because there is no continuing to live without killing the things that are trying to kill you. So she's saying that the Traveler is inconsistent because of its philosophy. Like it's guarding its creations, it's guarding them with false law. Like she's saying that against the Traveler, as if the Traveler doesn't make sense. And then she repeats these three hive things that have kind of proven themselves to be true. Those are the darkness's philosophies. They always call us a dead thing. You know, the fanatic called us a dead thing. It's like we're dead things made in the shape of the dead. The only true law is violent winnowing. And whatever cannot hold on to existence doesn't deserve existence. And those three phrases do play into each other. That's what she means. Like,
They do.
she's sounding kind of pro darkness
But-
right now.
All right. So maybe I read it
Maybe.
like this is what the darkness is preaching. This is what it is, and so forth. Not she agreed with all.
No,
But okay,
I
let's
didn't,
finish it.
didn't say she agreed with all of it. I said she was comparing the darkness
Okay.
and the Traveler's philosophies, and she was saying the darkness is at least more consistent.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, what was that?
Personal notes.
Oh, yeah, personal notes, scratched in hive leather with a flick of Ionian stone. The enemy suggests that a rebirth was an evil mistake. How Gnostic. They were a cult, a fleet, a school, a horde, who believed that the source of all suffering was not our poor choices, but an error of the world's creator. A false, deluded god. Mara would laugh, or weep. Was my rebirth an evil? It is true that guardians are reborn to face pain. We are endlessly besieged by a tortured cosmos. Secretly, I believe that most of us fall to exhaustion. Our ghosts love us and let us curl up inside to rest. My ghost, Rhea, died to save me. If she were returned, would I want immortality again? I do fear immortality without choice. I would not want to go on as a prisoner in Vexed Blast or a spirit trapped in the Sea of Screams. But my life is not a prison or a trap. Deep cuts, full of stone dust. It is not.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Eris is not only agreeing with the darkness to some degree, but she's also very doubtful of the traveler. Because, like, her personal notes, she's like, the enemy suggests that our rebirth was an evil mistake. And she calls the views of humanity prior to our rebirth a Gnostic. Like, they were a cult who believed that the source of all suffering was not in our poor choices, but an error of the world's creator. A false, deluded God. It sounds like she's describing, like, Bronze Age religion.
Fleet, the school, a horde, who
She called it a
believes that
cult.
the source of all suffering was not in our poor choices, but an error of the world's creator. False, deluded God.
Or,
Was my rebirth?
yeah, you see that? Like,
This is an interesting viewpoint right here. It is true that guardians are born to face pain. You're endlessly besieged by a tortured cosmos.
you read it already, boo.
Secretly, I believe that most of us fall to exhaustion. I just that's different right there.
Yeah, well, she's implying, like, yeah, I mean, we're reborn, and what's the first thing we face? We're always defending. Yeah, we're always defending. An endless cycle of death and rebirth and death and rebirth and death and rebirth and fighting back. Remember what I said was the scariest thing about Saint 14's eulogy? Was the fact that even to that point, we had accrued hundreds and hundreds of accolades, and we still weren't done fighting. Like, there was never a peace to be had.
Yeah.
Like, that implies that we just kept fighting until we finally died. And when we died, nothing changed. Like, we fought endlessly for presumably hundreds of years. Because, I mean, 6 years in, we've only got maybe a handful of gods under our, under our boots. But, yeah, like, when she's saying, like, secretly, I believe that most of us fall to exhaustion. Our ghosts love us and let us curl up inside to rest. She's, like, implying that our ghosts don't let us face true danger. They don't let us... They don't let us rest. Like, we're not allowed to rest until we finally just can't do it anymore. And she's, and she hasn't been immortal for a while. So she's like, would I want immortality again? I do fear it without choice. Like, I don't know. If we, like our character, fought until the day they finally croaked or passed, did we have a choice in how we spent our rebirth? Because it just sounds like we
I mean, not
Yeah.
particularly.
yeah, it's like she's saying, like, I fear being of the light again. She's like, I do fear immortality without choice. And then towards the end, she just gets kind of hysterical because she doesn't want to believe what she's saying. Like, she it's she's like, my life is not a prison or a trap. It is not. Like, she does not want to be, she doesn't want to, it's clear that she doesn't want to think what she's thinking right now. Like, these are thoughts she doesn't want to entertain because she's, up until this point, believed that the light is a gift and their quest is noble and their rebirth, is justified. But the darkness is clearly, I think their philosophies and the way they're describing things is kind of, because again, the darkness is pretty much laying all of its cards out on the table. Even in the middle of this thing, she still doesn't, like, she can't defend what the traveler does, and she can't defend the light because the purpose is a mystery even to her.
Right.
And since the darkness is the only one doing any talking, the contrasts that it's drawing are kind of they're kind of damning, and they're being exacerbated by the fact that the travelers just nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody can say or not say. Like, how
Yeah,
do you
nobody
defend
knows.
it? Eris is sitting over here freaking out, scratching into her book that she's not a fluke. You know that she's had like, that is an existential crisis put to page, dear. We just watched Eris have an existential crisis.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure.
That's definitely. I'm definitely digging this chapter just because of what it implies.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's just kind of the way it looks. Because she's having a pretty deep conversation with herself. But
She is. I mean, that's all these books are. She's like, kind of interpreting what the darkness is saying, and then kind of.
going over it,
Yeah.
Yeah, because we always have two things. We have the report by the VanNet routers are the reports that she was sending back to the Vanguard. And then we always have her, like, personal notes, the stuff that she's not telling them, like the stuff she's thinking personally.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I like
That's pretty awesome. I like that.
It's like you can read it both ways. The VanNet encrypted routers are always her official reports, and then you get the commentary track. This whatever she's scratching,
The
whatever she's
commentary
scratching
track.
into this hive leather with a flake of Ionian stone. It's always a flake of Ionian stone. Maybe that's really good for writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm finding interesting is that I was just looking at the first book, right? The first book, she's very much in her beliefs. And definitely more leaning on the side of the light. Like, she describes them as our foe, is immediately kind of dismissive about its ideas. As these books go on, it's like you can kind of see it chipping away at her.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like she's making food and trying to, like, as a way to get this stuff off of her mind. But the more she studies it, like, you notice at the beginning, she was really into her food. She was really talking about food a lot and about the walk and about all. And then slowly, as time goes on, she stops talking about food. She stops talking. Like, was there any mention of her walk at all in the last two books?
Nope. The last time she mentioned food was, let's see.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the beginning, she was very dismissive of their ideas. She was very, contradictory. Was applying her own logic to kind of counteract the claims she was hearing. But I feel like slowly it's chipping away at her, personally and in her transmissions. And the book Gift, I guess, because the book Gift is recent.
It is recent. It's the same week we got the
Well, no, but I
what do
mean
you
like,
call it? The
but I
exotic.
mean unlike the other chapters in the book, gift is written in the present. If you notice, it's only written in her personal
Oh.
diary. There's no official transmission.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because that week Zavala showed
Hmm
up personally.
Yeah,
Remember?
she
So there was no need for her
she
to
no,
send
she
a
even says
report.
in the book. She's like, what does she say? Oh, she says, "It's true I'm watched by many guardians and doubted and mocked, but this is the price of connectedness. This is proof, no matter how bitter, that I am part of something larger. Others look to me for guidance, so I choose to be worthy of that trust. I choose to tell Zavala what I have found. I will even invite him to see it." So there's no official report. Presumably, she did not tell Ikora. The only person she told about this was Zavala. And again, and again, she's past, and like, since this was written in the present, you can kind of see from the context, she's past the point of doubt and very comfortable communicating with the darkness. Where there were debates and, contradictions before, she's kind of just listening to it now. And then just writing down, what it said.
Sure.
But ooh, crabs.
I think if anyone is susceptible to the darkness, it's Eris. You know, I really want to see where this goes. I'm like really curious as
I
to
feel like
how Eris will be affected by the symbiont. You know, even um, when we see her in the Beyond Light trailer, she seems to be using some kind of power. You, did you notice that?
I was gonna say, um, it reminded me of. Remember when I did the Guardian Games video? And I have that interlude of like, are we gonna address this at all? Anything about this? Osiris? No. What did I? I forgot what I said. I was like, can we get any context for this? Anything? A lore book? Osiris was like, no, lol. He just said no, lol. Anyway, the second part of the middle of that video was the scene from near the end of Shadowkeep when Eris went up to that crazy altar and then her rock turned dark blue, which is only making the
Yeah.
connection in my mind now. Ain't that the color of stasis?
Oh yeah. So maybe wow.
So Eris Morn has already, I feel that is implying, now that we've seen what stasis and darkness powers look like, I think we can comfortably assume that Eris has stasis powers.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that cutscene is from Shadowkeep, when her rock goes from like green to that dark bluish color. Yeah, that scene is from the end of Shadowkeep. Boo. Eris got darkness powers.
Eris has darkness
And
powers.
mind you,
She-
she's not immortal. Okay, so what that tells
Yeah.
you, what that kind of tells you about the Traveler in the darkness, is that basically the Traveler gives you infinite lives. The darkness does not. If you're dead, you're dead because you didn't earn the right to exist. Things that get darkness powers do not get unlimited lives. Curiouser and curiouser. Man, it almost makes that almost makes having light powers feel like slavery. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be this. What? Why am I doing this? Oh, I just get born into being the traveler's personal guard? What kind of slavery? Oh, and if I die, I don't even get to die. I come back to life to try it again and again and again and again and again and again
Yep.
until I just can't anymore.
Yep,
Yep.
that's right.
I'm about to go
That's
get me
right.
some darkness powers. Nah, this is some bullshit. Listen. What is this? The darkness sounds like a I don't like these implications anymore. Oh my goodness. Seriously. What the heck? What are these light powers anyway? I'm starting to where's the benefit for me? Like damn. But check out the book Protected. This is where my idea that that she started focusing on food to kind of like will herself to kind of like go down under forceful angled cuts and read from there down. That's why I think like at the beginning she was genuinely trying to resist, and that's when she started taking up cooking like to try and distract herself.
Oh, here we go. I am afraid that if I go on, I will lose everything I have regained. All my peace, all my trust, all my hopes, and I will even destroy my dear friend who fights where I can. A blank space.
I need to make a walk.
I mean, I'm saying you didn't
I'm
read that.
sorry.
Like, did you read that? That's a big ass run-on sentence.
Yeah.
That's like frenetic.
Yeah.
It's erratic. That looks like fear.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like terror, and it's forceful angled cuts. Like she probably wasn't in. That's genuine anxiety.
But you're right, because for sure, like, and then a blank space,
And then I need to make a walk.
and then I need to
Yeah.
make a walk. It's like, here's what I'm feeling. I'm freaking out, and then pause.
I need to make a walk.
I need to
Yeah.
make a walk. Yeah.
It's like it's nuts. Okay. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And then she gets really deep in eggshell and then distracts herself with the walk again.
Mm-hmm.
In the book White,
Mm-hmm.
when she starts talking about one thing that was interesting in the book Eggshell, when she's talking about like welding the walk together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that not sound to you like it could equally be about like the balance of light and dark in a person, and how they can like how the light and the darkness can affect something in equal measure? Like that, did that whole passage sound to you like she was almost having the conversation anyway, even through her walk ramblings?
Let's see. Walk rambling. Um.
Did you say eggshell?
Did you say eggshell?
What? No, it's
Say eggshell or
Did you say eggshell or white?
Let me see. I think it's in eggshell. Let me see. Da. Pyramid. No, it's not in eggshell. Maybe it's in white.
I think it's right.
I think it's white.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's in protected.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in protected. Like right after the paragraph, the tired insinuation that protection is weakness. The one that starts with "I'm learning to cook."
She has them mixed in
Yeah,
here with
it
her
sounds.
basics. I'm
Mhm.
learning to cook. Yeah, I salvaged the hot plate back from the moon. It was back molded to the countertop, and I had to cut it free. My hands ache, but they're steadier.
Now tell me, like, does this not sound like a metaphor? Does that not sound like a metaphor for either for her trajectory or the choice that a guardian could make? Like she's saying, she salvaged the hot plate. It was vacuum welded to the countertop, and she had to cut it free, right? So she's cut the hot plate free from the countertop. No, like she's essentially cut it loose. It's its own entity now. And then she says something about, oh, well, you would find the concept of vacuum welding upsetting. Press two sheets of metal together, and their atoms cannot tell which sheet they belong to. They cross freely. The two become one. And then right underneath that, read.
I sleep beside an intruding pyramid. I am deep in its shadow. Back in the tower, beneath the traveler, could they understand how I'm vacuum welded to
Yeah.
the enemy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
No. Stop there. That's it.
Yeah.
Like the walk is like a metaphor for either people underneath the traveler being vacuum welded to it by default. Meanwhile, she's sleeping beside an intruding pyramid and is deep in its shadow. You could almost take the hot plate for her having been cut free. Yeah, having been cut free, and now she's vacuum welded to another surface instead.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man, that's sad. Poor Eris.
You think poor Eris? I mean, I don't know.
I feel bad for Eris.
It doesn't seem like she's. I mean, aside from the fingertips, it doesn't seem like she's suffering too much. It seems like she's deeply internally conflicted and traumatized to some degree.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's just got all this trauma, which makes her really vulnerable to darkness.
Yeah, definitely. But I did, especially with this new book, I did notice that there was a tug of war that was present earlier that has kind of fallen away.
Yeah, I feel you're right. That tug of war has kind of fallen away.
She has more philosophical questions now and conclusions. She has more philosophical questions and conclusions than she did before.
And she seems to
Like in the book, yes.
yeah.
Where she's wondering why she
Well,
is excited. No, that's what I was saying. Like, you mean in a book like that, or?
yeah, no, that's what I mean. She's wondering if she's. I mean, to your point, she doesn't seem to be in the later books. She doesn't seem to be as
Skeptical.
yeah, well, not as skeptical, but she doesn't seem as conflicted about what
Yeah.
she's doing. in the
Mhm.
later books. You know, that's you know, that's kind of what I mean.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh. What do you think about this week's book? Do you feel a bit more enlightened?
I think
I-
a little bit. I don't think it was interesting to hear her thoughts on the choice that guardians really
Mhm.
have, which is basically none. Like just ask Aldrin Sov.
Oh yeah.
I think it's fair to say a guardian is the last thing he wanted to be.
Who? I'm sorry.
Aldrin Sov.
Yeah, no, no. No. I remember Destiny 1. Uh, he was sneering. He was sneering at us.
Right?
Like
Like
he was kind of
he
shitting on us.
opened this disdain of
Yeah.
guardians. Like he just on a basic level was not down. And you know, when you get to get when you get past the point of, his kind of performative dismissal, when you read what he really thinks about Guardians, he's not a fan.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that being a guardian was not on his wish list. And yet a ghost found him, and yeah, we caught up with him around the dawning last year. He's not having a good time.
Oof. Oof.
He's
I
not
mean, it's a
having
good thing he
good
doesn't
time.
remember who he was.
I find it interesting no one has informed him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even if well,
I guess
well,
that's
no, I
the
mean, even
whole.
if they did, he wouldn't remember just how much he hates beings with light. Like I'm saying, like it's a good thing he doesn't remember that because he'd be in his own personal hell right now.
Yeah,
Funny that it erases your memories,
right. Yeah, it's a good thing
so
he
you don't
doesn't
remember who you were,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be in eternal, unyielding service
Blank slate.
to the giant orb. This sounds evil. I don't like these implications. Yes, I'm going to resurrect you, but also erase your brain so that you will do nothing but fight for me. Oh God, what have we done?
Uh, what have we done?
Also, I was just trying to see what she was talking about there because she's clearly referencing a bunch of lore books, and I think to get some more context, we may need to crab on those. Because look, at the beginning of Unborn, she says, "It preaches the philosophy of the books of sorrow." We've read those. Remember? Yours
Yeah, we have.
Scriptures, which I think is the book for every rose a thorn, and the Unveiled Fragments,
Okay.
which is doesn't that sound? Isn't that book that I just mentioned a second ago?
No, that is the unveiling, the stuff that we found when she was
No. Never mind. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about. I'm talking about. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now. Tell you right now, you crazy person. Yeah, the book is called. Oh no, there we go. The Inquisition of the Damned. That's what I was talking about. That thing I was telling.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the book. That's that book I was
okay.
telling you about. Because you got to get necrotic ciphers around the
Okay.
moon to get that book. And that's the book she's talking about. And she's talking about the fragments. The unveiled fragments.
Well,
Because unveiled fragments talking
okay,
about
but
language.
Well, the unveiling
well, the unveiling are the books that are directly from the
Okay,
darkness.
so she's talking about so you thinking okay, all right. Again, she's
Yeah, because Inquisition of
no.
go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say yeah. I guess she is talking about the unveiling. Okay, yeah, she's talking about that book then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which are equally interesting because they're also from the darkness. Like they're directly from the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Inquisition of the Damned is a Hive book. It's like a Hive Bible. I don't know. I have.
Mm-hmm. The Inquisition of the.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have all of them. I have
I have like
most of
11.
them. I'm missing. Let's see. I'm missing one. How many do I have? I have. One, two, three,
You can just highlight the first
um,
tab and it'll tell you how many you have. You can just highlight the, the
Oh, okay. I probably have
yeah,
like
the
12 of
first
them.
triumph.
But if you, I've read some of them, and they're not really related. I mean, they're hive books, and they're supposed to, believe it or not, um, they tell the story of what some of the hives in the moon are up to. I think it's Malakant and these siblings who are kind of an open rebellion of the Osman
What?
dynasty. They're kind,
Oh my god. Hold on. You
yeah,
gotta hear this.
they're pretty much
You gotta hear this. You gotta hear this. Hold on. One, the front cover of this book,
okay.
that is the symbol of
Hmm.
Crota. I I know
It
this
is,
because
yes.
I played the heroic mission where you got to sneak in and drink his essence a few days ago. So that's the symbol of Crota. But listen to this.
Oh,
I was paraphrase. Blarbada. Here we go. Would-be puppet masters watch with keen eyes from the crimson towers that hang from the jagged walls of the necropolis's hollowed and hollowed ground. They of cunning thought and grand design who lack the brute strength to take the sword's logic's gift by force. They who consider themselves the shadowed architects of empires. They who build their legacy upon the trade of secrets, the gossip of ages, and the sowing of lies, words their weapons cutting as any blades. Among the murmuring lords of wicked tongues, tainted royalty glides to the fore. Sisters of the anti-mercy, sisters of doom, the daughters of Crota, daughters of the world breaker, the offspring of destruction, direct heirs to the abandoned throne, yet removed from the pit's calling. The same privileged manipulators whose existence Malkanth and her siblings wish to challenge, wish to destroy. The daughters have come to judge those who dare fight for claim. What?
yeah,
The daughters
yeah.
of
So this
Crota?
whole lore book,
I mean, I know we took out Hashla Dune, but
that
there's like 3 more. Damn. There's like 3 more of them. Hashla Dune was not the only one.
there
There's
are
Besserith, Volshir, and
no.
Kinox.
Hmm.
Damn.
Yep. And then Malakant, um, is she's basically the last of these three siblings that are challenging that, like the sisters' claim to the
Mm-hmm.
throne, right? Because now Crota's dead,
So Zorix.
and they're arguing that those orcs, right? And they're arguing that you kind of fucked up. Like you were supposed to be all up in this sword logic, and you got taken out. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we're gonna have to like this whole lore book is about, you know, how they're going about this ritual to kind of take on the throne. And I think separately, I really should give it my own kind of
Mm-hmm.
read. Separately, there's kind of an effort to resurrect Hook,
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard about that.
kind of
Right?
low key.
Like a couple of hive who were just blaspheming.
Yeah, yeah, which is like not how it is done.
No. I believe Oryx's calcified
That's
body is
not
still
how.
orbiting Saturn.
Yeah, that's not how. That's not how the sword logic is supposed to work. In fact, Nokris, the necromancer, was vanished for this very reason.
You mean
So
practicing orb logic?
yeah,
You mean practicing the orb logic?
or
Hmm. And when you die, you just get
the
extra
orb.
lives. The orb logic. That's what we're calling it now.
And this is the orb logic. So, wait. So there's, I think it's on the Destiny page. Let me double check. Because there's some lore that's not even in the game that's actually pretty important.
Really?
I hate it when they do this, to be honest. Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
what? Oh man, that's a pinnacle drop. Thank you. Also, by the by, I highlighted the Grandmaster Nightfalls. It
Oh
said
yeah.
recommended power.
How is it?
I'm getting there. It said recommended power 1100, and I went, yep, not even gonna bother. It said recommended power 1100. I said, nope, not even gonna pick it on a lark. 1100, Jessica.
11.
Bungie, y'all crazy.
11.
That's the recommended power.
They're just ridiculous. Alright, I found it. So, you know how sometimes Bungie will post, um, they'll post like lore just on their blog
Yas.
randomly? Okay, so there's this one post from
Okay.
June 10th. It's called False Idols, and it reads, the high priest knelt before his withered god, mired in the ambivalence of shattered ideology, his faith replaced by the reality of Zol's failure. No wisdom or the base ritual buried in the sleep tomes could restore what was lost, nor was he inclined to attempt such an act. Illusion swept over, the will of thousands, silenced by light and code. He would have called this an act of heresy once, when the truth had not yet been revealed. There are no gods. There are only chains, and those at either end. Knockers have been the ignorant staring into the sun, for what is divinity but a star that blinds? A statue to be toppled, that it may galvanize the wailing masses who seek power in the death of old things. Gods, broken by palms, brought low and driven into the mud. Nokris drifted in the heart of winter at the southern pole of Mars. He lacked the strength to raise what remained frozen beneath the surface. He closed his eyes and reached into the tucked corners of existence with his mind, searching for remnants of Zol's power, only to find his communion denied by months of disconnected indifference. Through his outreach, he had come to know that Zol lived, buried deep and forgotten within the crust of another
What?
world. He had grazed the edge of confirmation with his old god, only to feel it wriggle away, apathetic and eager to break ties. Nokris, too weak to fulfill his purpose, was abandoned. The worm sought to be wielded by another, to fill their hands with power, a self-justified servitude in the bowels of Io. Despite the many traces of Zol's influence remaining on Mars, None would serve him better than the scrap of worm hide he gripped within his claws. He may be able to produce the death necessary to feed its appetite and coerce Paracelso change from it, but he knew those who could foster the necessary violence. A plan began to form in his
What?
mind, whispered from deep recesses he had not explored in many years. He had the scrap taken from Zol's remains for so long that it had eaten grooves into the bone plating on his hand. With it, he intended to force open that which had always been kept from him by the logic of the sword. He meant to craft his own ascendant gate from the great corpse legions of a risen brood. Fetid ranks of thrall, rotted beneath rime on cracked chin, encircled him and awaited the ritual. Their furbished flesh, so fire-kindling. He drew upon the deep and let the Latin tethers clinging to Zol's slough gather his will until he could mold reality around it. The bait was set. Agents of the sky were expected, and so they came with fury and the fuel of death. They did as they were built to do. Obsequious and domineering, they knew no other way but to cleanse that which stood in opposition to their
Ah.
arresting light. Their righteous carnage birthed Narcissus' transition, and his snare drew watchful eyes from the taken throne. The sky's vassals stormed the penumbra depths, as they had done many times before. Their fear of Zol's resurrection drove their furor like searing irons at their back. Fear he had wished to his purpose, his death, an offering that would steal the spell and create a pinprick piercing through which his soul could slip into the ascendant plane. But guile was the language of a more ancient player, and she had taken notice of his cunning. She directed Nokris away from his destination to instead wash upon the shores of her court. As his vision cleared, his eyes strained to see the taken queen, cloaked in the midnight glory of an event horizon.
What?
And there's more.
Keep going.
They actually talk.
What?
Okay.
Go.
A singularity throne perverted the space between him. The queen of lies, wrapped in distortion and gravitational lensing, sat within its inestimable depth. Her voice was distant red shift discord all around him. Her presence, the realm itself, boundless and willing to take. Sabathun's words spilled forth. Breaker of paths. A heretic stands here, but denial has yet to be given that you would return to me. I fed the worm, and still it faltered, he said. Nokris stared directly into the empty point of space, continually caving in on its form. He could barely define her silhouette within the warp. To falter is its nature, Sabathun's words were tinged with curiosity, though not by your efficacious method. Nokris preened the flesh of his face back to display a skeletal smile. The sword bears no fruit. The worms are gods, of thin ambition and reign vast in nothing. Brave words in this place. Do you not think they are watching? Nokris bowed his head for the first time since he was drawn here. The queen is clever. You did not share my father's single-minded ambition, nor my brother's taste for glory. You wish to serve me. The thin image twitched within the blacklit accretion glow. My life is spent. Servitude to those who cast me away. Our blood is all that remains of the old pact. Then let us make use of each other. Nokris raised his gaze. What use would I be to a god? No gods. He nodded. So it has always been. Sabathun's voice converged onto him from every direction. You, a usurper, the first tug at the end of the chain. To act as distraction or await slaughter. Nokris' voice sunk with disappointment. No, as a thorn. You have circumvented the deep through forbidden sacrament, and so you shall continue. The deep fears me, as we feared you. Ignorance keeps, knowledge usurps. In this you have found purpose in my court. The high priest's shoulder straightened. You feared me?
Mm.
In a younger time, intents were narrower. I see your value, and we should have then. All who denied you, blinded by the sword, let them fall away as grains from the scythe. I am the implement? You are the mechanism by which we serve their chain, by which we sever their chain. Sabaton's voice filled his skull with spoken promise. Teach me your necromancies, usurper of the ordered way, so that together we may circumvent the anchored logic that drags us into depths. Serve us a foil to scatter the pieces of their grand game across the cosmos. As Zol did for my heart, I offer a trade. Knowledge for knowledge. Grant me sight into the dreaming mind's talent, and I will teach what you ask. The masters convene here? Concern dropped from Narcissus' words. Do we mean to move against them? Not so directly. Our rival is imminent. A shadow will reach out and make itself known. I am to obscure the connection? Where sky meets deep, you shall be the screen that sows dissonance. And for it, we shall walk unhindered by the parasitic inclinations of those who believe themselves mighty. Nokris saw the scheme. The will of the many bent to our hands. No longer do they draw upon us. Freedom! They are beset against each other. We walk the space between. An accord is struck. Speak my name. Savathun, subjugant to none, swordbreaker, and queen to the sacred throne.
Damn right.
To me, you're bonded. Go forth and enact my will. Nokris was cast out of Savathun's court as suddenly as he had become ripped into her presence. He drifted in the Ascendant plane, no longer directionless. Behind him, the court faded, and its shimmering illusion fell like curtains upon a stage. The dark core of the singularity wavered, sunken within its gravitational well, was the lone thrall and no other. Its depth spread over eons of deterioration, mouth agape to utter words at the taken queen's whim as a patsy, and nothing more. Her presence had been but a mirage, soaked and sold by the lie of her mouthpiece puppet to whom Nokris unknowingly spoke. In truth, only a thrall stood within the orbit of the singularity, for the queen would not be so foolish to reveal herself. Savathun looked upon her charlatan court from distant transcendent hollows. Her nascent alliance had produced power twinfold, and that of Nokris' devotion, as well as his deception through her mouthpiece thrall positioned within the singularity. She breathed in his desperate agreement and prepared for the struggle to come. Yeah, that's it. That's so this is the official moment when Nokris
She hit him with the jiggling thalls.
decided he was down.
She hit him with the jiggling thalls.
She hit him with the
And he took Edith. She took his Edith. He got Mysterio'd. Oh no! And then as soon as he left, the fake Ascendant plane was like, "Beam!" All the holograms disappeared. Oh my god! Savathun. I'm afraid of Savathun now. Yo, her schemes are deep.
You never know what you're getting.
Her long con is real.
But that makes sense. She's like, she becomes stronger through cunning.
That is a long con. That is the longest of long cons. Good gravy.
The thing that's so interesting to me about Savathun is that she's reached a point where she's like, I need to pull the biggest scam that ever scammed. Because I now literally am trying to scam the darkness and the light themselves. right? Even though she herself is a creature of
Yes.
darkness, right? Like her power originally came from her arrangement with these
Mm-hmm.
worms, but like now she's like, you know, they ain't all that. Chris, you figure that out.
Wow. She made him believe that he was like too woke. And
She actually made him.
he was actually on a
believe
roll. He
that-
was kind of on a
yeah.
roll there. He was this close to just stepping foot in his own ascendant plane. And she was like, but wait,
Yep.
how about you come this way instead?
Yeah.
That's why I think it's such an interesting use of the term, oh, like, I feared you. And he's like, oh, you feared me? Oh, yeah, long ago. Like, nah. You feared him up until just now. Because he took the
Right.
bait. You feared him up until this very moment, because my man was about to have an ascendant plane of his own. And you can't have that kind of smoke
He was.
from a known necromancer. Mm-mm. Nope. It's true.
You don't want none
Nah,
of that.
Savathun was like, what? He's about to do... Nope. Turn on the CB radio. Put that frequency to Ascendant. We gotta put a pin in this now. I don't need any opposition from when my grand scheme goes down. Mm-mm. Wow, Savathun's ability to
man.
play the long con, and just the sheer number of strings she's pulling in this story is just... It's nothing short of astounding. I gotta say, it's nothing short of what? Like,
Yeah.
what? What do you do?
Pretty
What?
awesome.
Like even the thing with like even Shax and his Moon Cheese song, like I think that's when I started
Yeah.
like that's when I started looking at Savathun as a serious like, wait, what? Because previously I was just making fun of Savathun. I was just like, I just keep killing Froda's daughter. That's what Savathun's song means to me. Oh, we're gonna kill Froda's daughter again? Oh, okay, all right. This time I'll be Solar. No, wait. This time I'll be Arc when I do it. And they were like, nah, man. Savathun's song is serious. Yeah, nah, bro. It's the theme song of this expansion. What? What?
And it's a viral
What?
chant. Once you hear it, you cannot unhear.
That is absolutely true about Eris Morn's humming.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
how I would describe Eris Morn's humming. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Mm-hmm. It's right on the money. Oh, this is a... I think this
That's
may be
awesome.
the best lore night. This may have been one of the best lore nights.
This was quite the lore night.
Really,
Mhm.
really enjoyed that. So many implications. What an interesting chapter this week. I'm telling you, it's not fun watching Eris, kind of break herself apart and snap herself together again while studying this thing. But I gotta say, like, I gotta say, dear, these implications are only getting more interesting. Just even the suggestion that light is not inherently good and darkness is not inherently evil is compelling enough on its own. But now they're just, they're throwing a lot of interesting philosophical wrinkles. Like, I love the comparison about the seasons, saying, like, yeah, winter, bitter cold, things like that do kill plants, can kill, animals and creatures, but it's a natural cycle. Is winter evil because it's cold or because it kills a few people, or is it just a natural process, a fact of living?
Mhm.
It's like, stop!
Yeah.
I live under this thing. Can you stop?
Yeah.
I see it every time I wake up. All right, I'm living under this ball. Can you not? You're challenging my worldview. Yeah. Yeah, I think this. Crud. We forgot to look up at the tree.
Oh, that's
Forgot to look at the
right.
tree this week.
I didn't notice anything.
Oh,
too
did you
crazy,
look?
though.
Oh, okay. Because I totally forgot to look at the tree this week.
Yeah, it looked
Oh,
about
all
the
right.
same.
All right. That's cool. All right. I was about to say if they had like a whole orb on top and I missed it, I'm about to lose my mind. That'll be the next thumbnail. I will go right back down there just to take a screenshot. Like, it's the orb of Dark Titleist. You know. Dark Titleist. Yes. I think. I think we chewed pretty far.
Yeah, we totally did. Yes. For sure.
Had a good show tonight. You enjoy that? Enjoy that craziness?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun for
Yeah.
sure.
The lore talk was definitely welcome. Even if we didn't get to tackle a dungeon tonight, I'm still. So I think we played pretty good tonight. I'm happy. I'm happy. Maybe we can. Yeah, you always got it. You hope you play good. You want to play good. Yeah, so it's really what you need more than anything else. But I was gonna say, if you want, maybe we can bonus out. I'll see if I can get in touch with Daniel. Maybe he'll be down to bonus out on like on Sunday or something. You know?
Yeah, that
maybe
sounds
we
cool.
can get
into
down
that.
on that because I definitely want to 0 hour it up or prophecy it up with you.
Okay.
I did it.
What'd you do?
The floor is lava thing.
What? You did?
Yeah, just now. What, you can...
Yeah.
Where are you? I don't even see where you are.
I was talking to the
Oh, you're in the annex. Look at you. All right, I'll go and find you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that was pretty fun. Maybe when we bonus out, we can tackle those other 2 topics that we didn't get to. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Into that. Ah.
Holy bananas. What?
Ah.
I heard you go, what does that mean? I don't see you at all.
And somebody just like ran through me.
Oh, there she is. I see her. Hello. So, if you're as ready as ever to do our famous outro, I think today's lore talk should definitely be clipped. That was great. But if you would like to handle the closing crabs, here you gotta come up here. No, wait, is it up here? Yeah, it's up here.
Okay.
Are you hurting right now? No. Okay,
No.
so look around. Do you see a pillar of light anywhere? Look quickly, because that thing will wear off.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay, so you're gonna have to use the railings and such, and make your way down there without touching the floor, because the floor is lava. The floor will hurt you. So make your way around using the railings and the banisters and the.
Okay.
Red booty.
Alright, well, definitely check us out on the Instagram,
Do it for the gram.
the Twitter,
Do it for the tweets. Do it for the feets.
Facebook,
Oh wait.
the YouTube.
Do it for you. Indeed.
And definitely check out Inferno Penguins.
That can. What about .org?
.com.
Know that already.
Know that word.
What if somebody wants to type that in? What'll show up? Will it be an organization of penguins?
I don't know what will come up if you type .org because it's not. It's .com.
Well, indeed. Fine. You heard a .com. Infernal Penguins. Thank you, dear. No!
You're welcome.
Look! I made it! I made it to the other side!
Oh, I see.
Well, that's my claim to fame right there. But just like that fall off, and I did truly fall off, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That will conclude tonight's episode of the Expert Playlist, episode 160. Thank you for watching. We may see you in a bonus dungeon crawl worthy episode this weekend. But until we get to that same bat time, bat channel, and bat cetera. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Good night and all that.
Good night.
Yep. Dear. This is insane. The view from over here is crazy. You gotta see this. This is nuts. I was trying to see this when I was doing Wrath of the Machine because I was trying to figure out what sinkhole I was near. Because, like, from the perspective of where you are, it's called the Boca district. And the Boca district seems to be right next to a massive sinkhole. And then directly over to the right. Oh, nice. Very nice, very nice.
So what does quickness
Jump.
do?
Indeed. Yep. That's what happens when you win the lava challenge. Congratulations. You just like breaking the game, jumping across all the craziness. But yes, up here, over here where I am, this flagpole. Good gravy. It's like boss like Africa is living up to his name. Very nice, very nice.
Good.
Yeah, what was I saying a second ago?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying there's like
Oh,
a
yeah,
sinkhole that the Boca district is near. And then if you look slightly to the right, you're like to the lower left of the Traveler. So I'm thinking it's probably that sinkhole. That one that's right over there, like. Yeah, you see like way out in the distance? Okay, so you see like there's like these two little tower looking things, these two pillars. That's what I think you're near. I think you're like that. You see where the cranes are? There's like a plane flying over there. I think that's the Boca district. And these sinkholes are either from the Red War's attack on the city, which I think is probably it, or the Fallen's attempts to get into a Black Armory vault. Since that is apparently the mission in... Yeah, see if you can walk to the end of this thing. It's awesome. That's apparently the mission that you're doing in Scourge of the Past. You're like in the Lost City trying to prevent the Fallen from accessing a Black Armory vault. Yeah, like you can walk directly to the end of the flagpole, and it's a pretty interesting view. Especially if you want to see what the bottom of the tower looked like. But yeah, we have got to do that raid. I love it. It's set in the last city. I love it. I've always wanted to run around the last city, and they modeled so much of it. It's insane. No, all you have to do is jump on this thing, and then just just casually walk to the end.
I think that I have quickness now.
Just step on the pole and slowly walk. It's an analog stick, so you can push it slightly. Look, you see this walk? See this walking animation? Somebody on the art
Yeah,
team
no,
was
it's kinda
painstakingly working on this animation. Oh, she made it. Will she make it? Will the curse take hold? Find out next time on the game.
Oh, this
In
is
it?
cool.
You kind of get this, like, you get a nice view of the last city and the surrounding other towers. This is a pretty nondescript tower. Like, I tried to look for it when I was in the last city. I couldn't see it. Like, at least that tower over here that had that iconic little pointy thing at the top, Like, when you're looking at the
Yeah.
old tower. This tower is just flat. It looks like it's just part of the wall, TBH.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sure.
Like a
I want to
makeshift.
move back into the old tower. I like that
Me
tower.
too.
It's got the Paul McCartney disco room. Don't mind me, I'm just showing off my superior guardian
Oh,
balance.
hey. Hey, Shaq. Shaq's from
I can actually. I'm also
Mhm.
I'm also
Cool view.
uncomfortably close to that Ahamkara skull.